Well, hello, Intro to TV parents. I'm Mr. Lowrie, and I wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about the class that your daughters and sons are about to take, and tell you a little bit about the program itself and some of my expectations for distance learning. So first, let's look at the Intro to TV class. It's the first step of a journey. We've laid out the program this year for the first time where students will have multiple pathways they could take after successful completion of the intro class. They can either, after the completion of the intro class, either take Lincoln Live, which is our live newscast that's shown here at the school and streamed online, or they could take the documentary and film route, or they could take the new sports broadcasting class. And if they're really into it, they could go from intro to sports and then into Lincoln Live, or they could jump around. So we're really flexible in the way the program is set up. Now this year, for the first time, there will be 3 sections of the Intro to TV class. Plus, we have 8 current members of Lincoln Live who are underclassmen. That means there's going to be a lot of demand to get into Lincoln Live for next year. And so we'll have a competitive process, an audition process, a selection process that'll take place in February that will determine who takes the path into Lincoln Live for next year. So that's how the setup of the program is, but where are we actually heading? What are we trying to accomplish here at Lincoln High School? Well, simply put, we're building the top high school broadcast program in Ohio. And I know that sounds arrogant, but that's the goal, that's the mission, and that's what we're going to achieve. We want an extended, authentic presence here at Lincoln High School, in our district, and throughout the whole community. Between the Lincoln Live shows, our Twitter account, our Instagram account, our YouTube channel. We're adding podcasting into the program this year, a sports show that the sports broadcasting class will create, long format videos that the documentary and film class will be producing, and we have an idea right now that's just in the early phases of creating a website for all the communications programs here at Lincoln. So that's an ambitious list for sure, but I think we can accomplish all of that and grow this program to where I really want it to be. And it's something that I did at my previous school, and I plan on doing again here at Lincoln. While this is only my 2nd year at Lincoln, this is my 20th year teaching. I graduated from Ohio University with a degree in communications long ago. I worked in TV for 12 years at ABC and CBS stations, including Channel 6 and Channel 10 here in Columbus, Channels 19 and 43 in Cleveland, before I left TV, got a master's in education back in 2001. And then just a few years ago, I went back to grad school again, and I got a master's in school leadership. I even have my principal's license, and I could use that at some point, but I just love teaching too much. I love being with the kids too much every day, face-to-face interactions, so I haven't been willing to give up teaching. But I do expect excellence. At my previous school, our news program, Steel News Live, earned 55 Regional Student Emmy Awards, 3 National Student Emmys. No other school in Ohio has more than 9 Student Emmys during that time. We won 58 of them at Amherst. The last year I was at Amherst, we had 1,872 tweets because we want to be a presence in the community. And my students posted over 1,000 videos on Twitter. So we were the main communication vehicle for our school district, and I expect the same thing here at Lincoln. If you look behind me, this is just some of the technology that we added within the last year here at Lincoln High School. We made major upgrades. First, we created Lincoln Live, multi-camera, high-end production, first time in school history with 3 cameras and teleprompters and the whole thing. And we produced 62 shows while we were in school before distance learning. And then I think it was another 18 shows that we produced during distance learning that we called Living Room Lincoln Live. As you could see, we rebuilt our control room. We took out some dated equipment, put in the most modern equipment. It's the same equipment that colleges use, and the kids really enjoy getting in here and learning all of the equipment, and I can't wait until later in the year when they could start actually doing it. We made an investment over the summer in some new and used equipment that we purchased, and it's ready to go. So students in the Lincoln Live program, the film class and the documentary class, along with the sports class, will have some pretty updated equipment that they'll have access to. We're in the process of building a new set. Right now we use a green screen, and I'm not a big fan of it. You can see in the one picture in the distance is the shell for a new set that's being built. On the right, that's Prosper High School in Texas. That's kind of our template. The Fab Lab students are going to work on the set this year. We're hoping by the end of the school year this year, we'll have a new set, and that'll allow us to do so many more things than we can presently do. Again, we're moving the program forward. We've also made some major upgrades in social media. We now have our Twitter account that I mentioned. We have a YouTube channel. And this year, for the first time, we're going to be adding some podcasts. So we have a new podcast service where students will be able to post their work, and then we'll be able to use our social media pages to share the podcasts out. So what do we do in this Intro to TV class, whether we're here in the building or if we're in distance learning? Well, we have a lot to do if we want to be ready to potentially move right into Lincoln Live right after the intro class is over. We learn videography skills, both using the cameras that we have here at school and our phones. We learn how to edit using Final Cut Pro. We also have an Adobe license. We're going to be using WeVideo during distance learning for the intro classes and for Lincoln Live. And we're going to use iMovie, the apps on our phones. We're going to learn how to produce stories, so a 2-minute story on something that the students find interesting or newsworthy. We're going to learn how to write in news style, which is a totally different beast than what we've learned in English class. We're going to learn how to make graphics and use the computers. We don't specialize when we do Lincoln Live. So you don't take the class and you're just an anchor or just a director. We rotate different jobs every day because I think it's invaluable for students to learn the teamwork skills that are involved with producing a show, and they have to learn how to be behind the scenes, in front of the camera. They learn it all and rotate jobs every day. So again, we don't specialize. And we're going to get out and we're going to cover school events. Sometimes as students in the intro class, which will go straight to social media, those videos, or when they take Lincoln Live. During distance learning, the one thing I want to remember is this is an elective class. Students chose to be in it. And with that, I think I can have some high expectations. For those that want to potentially do Lincoln Live later, like I said, it's going to be a competitive process. And so this is something that they're going to have to work hard at. But because it's an elective, I expect students to do their assignments, to be online when they're supposed to be online, and to work as hard as they can in excelling in the class. During distance learning, I believe in everyone just has to be. We have to be on time. We're going to start right when the period's supposed to start. We're going to take attendance, the whole thing. We want to be responsible. We want to be courteous to the other people that are potentially speaking or sharing their thoughts or ideas. We want to be patient. You know, kids have to learn new software. I'm learning new software. When you're dependent on technology, I know probably as well as anybody, when it doesn't work, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. So we need to learn to be patient because it's not going to be perfect. We have to be alert. We have to be focused. We have to be accepting of other people. We want to build our confidence in both our skills and our abilities to speak on camera. We want to be active, and we want to just be invested in the class as a whole. During distance learning, like I said, we will start class right at the beginning when we're supposed to be on. So whatever time the class period starts, they should be on a few minutes before that. They should have their mics muted, but I'm going to give them plenty of time to work in groups, to voice their opinions, to speak. I don't want to talk at kids for 70 minutes. We want to limit distractions, and we want to dress for school. When I say dress for school, that's as simple as let's not be laying in bed. Let's not have headphones on. Let's not, be laying down on a couch. Let's be alert. Let's be seated. Let's sit up, whether it's a comfortable chair or a desk or a table. We should be dressed and ready to learn each day. Also, during distance learning, please pay special attention to instructions to avoid chaos. So if we all can kind of just listen to what we're supposed to do, it'll make things go that much easier. We want to use the chat function to ask questions. Like I said, I'm not going to talk at kids for 75 minutes. I want them to be active. Know where to go and how to get there, and utilize the work time that I give in class so you can ask questions. If I give students, hey, here's 45 minutes, work on this for the next 45 minutes, and they just say, I'll do it later and go do something else, I won't be able to necessarily see it. But then when they go to do it later, if they have questions, I'm not there anymore to answer them. So they should use the time I give them in class in case there's an issue, they can hop right back on and ask. You know, during distance learning, we're going to be using a lot of technology. We're going to shoot video on our phones and potentially some other devices. We're going to be using our Chromebooks to edit a new program called WeVideo. It's not the greatest editing program ever, but it'll do what we need it to do. And the district's going to be providing that. Personal computers, if you have editing software at home, you'll be able to use that for some projects, but I'm still going to require Chromebooks and WeVideo for some of the projects. If you have an iPhone, we're going to be using iMovie on our phones. If you have an Android, WeVideo has an app. You'll be able to shoot and edit video on your phones using the Android app. So why do we do all that? Well, again, at the completion of the intro class, students are going to come to a fork in the road and they're going to have some decisions to make. Some students in intro this semester are going straight into documentary and film or straight into sports to get those done this year as well. Some are going to want to audition for Lincoln Live in February. Others who are sophomores or freshmen now maybe will end up taking a year off and then coming back. It's kind of a rotating schedule to whatever fits their needs. I think communicating with parents during distance learning is imperative. And we got to keep those communication lines open. I want you to know that I am available and I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that your son or daughter gets the feedback they need, the support they need, that they're getting the attention that they need. But the only way I can do that is if they're online and doing what they're supposed to be doing on their end. I can't just stop them in the hallway and ask them why they're not doing something because I'm not going to see them in that capacity right now. Just know that I post everything on Google Classroom. I put all assignments, explanations, due dates. I even put the rubrics of how they're going to be scored before I even have them start working on assignments so they know exactly what they have to do. Presentations or videos that the kids do will also be available for your viewing. Please check Infinite Campus for updates and for grades. And if they're starting missing grades or they get a bad grade on something, it'd be nice if parents would get on it and ask the student, hey, what happened here? Why'd you miss that assignment? Why didn't you do as well? And if you do it from your end and I do it from my end, we're going to make this great for them. My email is also on the screen here. I'm an obsessive email checker. If you email me, chances are you'll get a reply within a half hour or so. Even on the weekends, I check my email all the time. So, welcome to the TV program. I know that's a lot, but I'm so excited to get started and meet new students and learn new technology and make a difference here at Lincoln High School for what we do. And what we do is promote the great works of all the other students at Lincoln High School. We have a heck of a fun time while we're doing it. So again, reach out to me anytime. Can't wait to meet all of you.